audience, including myself.
According to an online journal, each year a growing number of young people enter secondary education without having achieved a functional reading ability. That means that there are so many people who enter middle school or higher that have not learned how to read or write at a proper level. It's been a problem for years. It's been growing and growing and growing, and you think by now with all the technology, illiteracy would come to an end. But actually, it is becoming more common. It's more common due to an underlying amount of reasons. The first one being that many children have sensory problems and that they don't understand how to pronounce the sounds of words in order to make words. Another one is language difficulty or dyslexia, and this is actually a really big play in the problem with illiteracy. According to Mays, children with speech delays or disordered speech development may be unable to articulate some sounds, which goes back to sensory problems. If you can't articulate sounds, you're not going to be able to put letters together to form words, and those words form sentences. And eventually the child will give up in learning how to read because they're having problems learning how to pronounce words or even something as simple as letters. Another one is they have no motivation to learn or they can't concentrate in the classroom. And we see this every day, not just in the classroom, but all around us. There's no motivation to do anything. And when they're not motivated, they're not going to want to learn. Another major one is traumatic experiences, including car wrecks or anything that has hurt the child's sensory developments in order to learn to read or write. Another one is poor parenting. Some parents are not in the picture for some children, so the children don't see it as a want to learn how to read or write. Some children may have never even attended school, so they never had the chance to try to learn how to read or write, and that goes back to poor parenting because the parents didn't teach them at home. And a last point that a reason that illiteracy occurs is even though some did attend school, they didn't have the teacher that taught them how to read or write properly. The teacher either didn't explain it well enough or they pushed the child away because they were having too many problems trying to teach the child to read or write. And so that resulted in him or her getting into middle school and high school and not being able to read or write. My second point is we all have the right to literacy, but illiteracy can be a choice. And according to OC, no one is above or below learning, which goes back to illiteracy is a choice for some people. Ways that we can help end illiteracy is to start after-school programs for those that struggle with reading or writing. It begins at really young ages, it's pre-K up to maybe about 3rd or 4th grade when they're starting to learn how to read or write. And we can start after-school programs to go in there and work with them on reading and writing one-on-one. That may be what the child needs, is that more one-on-one help. Another way is to become a tutor, which is kind of like an after-school program, but you can reach out to parents who may not be in the picture for their children, and you can go to their house or somewhere comfortable and teach their child to read or write. Again, that goes back to as little as pre-K up to 3rd, 4th grade, because the higher you go that you can't read or write, the harder it is to teach your brain to comprehend that. Lastly, if you are a parent or guardian of children, you can help your child at home. You can begin by, when they're really little, teaching them their letters and the sounds, and that will help begin their literacy development. And if you prolong that, they will never get the chance to try to learn how to read because they won't have the motivation from the parent, because the parent is the main person for the child, their motivation to want to read or write. So, thank you.